Welcome, everybody, to the Radical Roots podcast. It has been a while. I am your co-host, Peyron Baxter.
I'm your co-host, Ram Sandoval. What's up?
What's up, y'all? It has been a minute since we've done the Radical Roots proper, but we are here giving you a kind of 2025, our last episode of the year. We're going to take some time to enjoy our families and time off, but we're going to talk about what happened. It's our year in review. And there's been a lot happening. So, but before we get started, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Radical Roots podcast. This is how we grow this platform so we can stay independent. And here we go. I'm going to put this little code up here. Ram has so graciously created these things. If you see it on the screen here is our QR code to donate to the Radical Roots podcast. It is how we stay independent, how we stay clean, how we stay true to you with this information. But Ram, and I'll put a smaller one up now. Let's see, it might be to your right. I don't know if you can move that. Let's see. Anyway, but Ram, it has been a year of years. But before we get into that, it's been a while since we've jumped on the microphone. How have you been?
Yeah, I've been good. Been busy. Busy with the startup and busy with
He's a tech bro.
Yeah, just busy with everything, to be honest. Yeah, also some political things going on here in Union County, trying to help folks organize, and they just had the the registration to run for elections just wrapped up. So I saw a lot of Democrats running here in Union County, Mecklenburg. So just keeping up with all that stuff. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, well, some folks know. For some folks who don't know, we started a 3-day-a-week daily, not daily, but I guess week within the week podcast, the Roots Rundown. I've been kind of had my hands in that. It's been pretty fun. Got some pretty good feedback on that. We're sometimes, as you guys know, our show may not be as frequent as we'd like it to, so we want to make sure we're still providing context and the news to you all. So that I've been doing that, and that's been pretty good. So I plan on keeping that up. Maybe do an episode or two as we're on break, but just to kind of, if there's anything that burning hot that comes out, like, oh, the orange one has passed away. I don't care what you're doing, brother. We got to get on that microphone. If it's that day, I'm sober, but we finna drink. Okay. But no, man.
I might have to pop my bottle of Obama Hennessy. The
Obama Hennessy. Oh, what did that? They gave y'all Negroes Obama Hennessy. Is that like
matter of fact, let me go grab it real quick.
Go grab that Obama. Now, folks, I ain't never heard of no Obama Hennessy. Now, I know there's Hennessy for them Negroes, but I never heard no Obama. Is that what the H in the Barack H Obama stands for? Is it Barack Hennessy Obama? I ain't never heard nothing like that before.
So I went down to.
Here we go. Let's see what this looks like.
So in 2009, I went down to stay with my buddy at Howard. He was at Howard at the time, so we went for the inauguration,
DC.
And yeah, so when I was down there, they were selling. Let's see.
Oh wow! Let's make
44th president. In honor of the 44th president, January 20th, 2009.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, unopened. This is about a $3,500 bottle now. I bought it for $30.
Wow.
And I almost opened it.
And it says Obama. What does it say on it?
It says 44th in honor of the 44th president.
Oh man. That's dope.
So,
I mean, I don't drink, but like back then I was drinking technically. So like I would have drank that, but you haven't even tasted it? It's unopened?
No, it's unopened. It's a limited edition. So we got let's see, number.
Get you right.
So there was 100. It looks like 180,000.
180,000. Yours is 127,000.
Yeah, 12,790. This one is.
Oh, 12,000. Sorry.
Yeah, it was last I checked, it was worth about $3,500. I bought it for 30. I almost drank it that night because we ran out of liquor, but
Obama juice. You got some of that Obama juice.
We stayed out all night, went into the inauguration it was like 0 degrees. It was the coldest day in DC, and I'm from Chicago. My feet were freezing. Did a walk. I mean, it was grueling, to be honest. And then after it was over, public transportation was down. So I just walked like an hour and a half back to back over to the campus, and look, it was
up
worth
there.
it, but like it was a lot.
Yeah, my mom was up there for that first inauguration too. She said that like she's her and my little sister somehow got moved up to like some sort of VIP area, and I guess the Secret Service like, if you come up here, we got to take your phones, and they like basically like wipe or like kill their battery. She's like, my mom's like, I've never seen that like that before, and this is 2009, as you said. So like she walks up there and so, well, if y'all want to sit here, you can, but you have to give us your phone, and then immediately kill the battery. So she was like, yeah, what kind of, they got some wild technology that just
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, at a lot of these events, they have like these mobile, especially in Chicago, they have like a mobile unit that actually it's like a cell tower, and instead of your phone connecting to the normal cell towers, your AT&T network, the first hop is to this basically spy antenna, so it intercepts all the traffic that goes through it. Now, if you're sending text messages, phone messages, browsing the internet, like all that traffic is going to be picked up.
But this was 2009, so it was like T9 texting.
Yeah, I mean, they look the wire. Remember, the wire was out then, so
that's true. That's true.
That was when it was getting prolific. I mean, that was the Patriot Act, right? So back then, they were hiding a lot better, and of course, the technology is.
Yeah, I'm sure they got you walk up there like, oh, you said something about Trump. We got you now.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably listening to my microphone now. Like, if
absolutely,
I'm like I just assume I'm compromised. Like, in cybersecurity and in any network, you generally assume you're compromised, right? So the way that you secure yourself is that you assume that your network is already compromised. So how do you protect these things if there was somebody listening in? So look, I don't care if they. I mean, like, I'm not. Look, I'm not saying anything crazy, but
the beauty of it all is that I think if we understand that there's more of us than there are of them, and right. I think we've seen with these ICE raids, and we'll get into what happened this year, but Ignat's going to just touch on it real quick. As we've seen with the ICE raids, there's only so many of these slack jaw losers. There's so many of these terrible lawyers that could have cases. There's only so many, and this is what we've been talking about this whole year. And so as long as we understand there are more of us than there are of them, if we all are saying shit like, you know what, screw y'all, like they can't arrest everybody. They can't. They're going to leave only the accounts of Pete Hegseth and Marco Rubio. I mean, it's so ridiculous of like what their end game is, and it's up to us to say like, you know what, enough. And I think we're getting to that point. But let's start with the beginning of it. We have a comment here real quick. See, Jennifer SCU6E from YouTube says, perfect timing for this Apple Crown Royal evening cocktail. Very nice, very nice. We have folks who are actively partaking.
Okay. So when you did drink and send you back, but like what was your
I'm ready, baby.
What was your drink of choice?
Anything. So I guess to give you a quick rundown, it's a very short rundown. When I first started drinking, it was more or less I was like a fancy Negro, I was a fancy nigga, what I'm saying? I was drinking like the more middle shelf, I was in college or I really started drinking until post college, but like when I first started drinking like middle shelf stuff, and then in the club. So do you remember the drink, the Incredible Hulk?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. So like that was one of my first drinks. One of my friends one of the friends that you met from college at my daughter's birthday party.
Yep.
She was drinking what was it?
Alizé.
Not Alizé, but just all those stupid drinks, Nuvo, Hurricanes, and just dumb blue motorcycles. That's what she was talking about, blue motorcycles.
The sweet
ones. But then when I started like drinking heavily, alcohol of choice, I really felt I was becoming more fancy. It was more like tequila, like Don. Was it Don? Don Julio. Don Julio. I thought, but again, this is a college, bro. I'm like, this ain't like big money, but in my mind, I was big money, right? This before Patron. Then I get a bottle of Patron. Couldn't tell me nothing, and now I'm showing up to the party, got that, but then I kind of escalated that to Belvedere and whatnot. But then by the end of it, like, dude, by the time of the end of my alcoholism, the folks don't know I am an alcoholic. I'm 7 years sober. I was drinking like mouthwash. I was like, I just had to get the feeling of alcohol into my bloodstream by the end of it. So that was the end of it. So folks, please don't become an alcoholic, is what I can tell you. It will destroy your life. But thankfully, I was able to bounce back. But yes, that Hennessy, I was never big into brown. To be honest with you. I did a little bit of Jack.
That brown liquor.
I don't know. It just
my two go-tos now are whiskey,
I give
bourbon.
it whiskey.
I do bourbon, rye, scotch, but
Now they're the same
and,
family though, right?
tequila. Yeah, same family,
Yeah.
but I usually go with a bourbon and then tequila. Tequila. I prefer mine
What's your tequila?
straight, neat. Tequila, it doesn't matter, just as long as it's not the the ones that have like sugar. So I like go for the nat. There's a lot of tequila right now is really big, so there's a lot of selections.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
everybody's making it.
yeah, safe bets. Don Julio's a safe bet, Patron's a safe bet, but I try to try them. But
The year after I got sober, we went to Jalisco, Mexico, which is supposed to be like the only place in the world that really makes tequila because they got the agave plant. And of course I was sober at this point, about like a year. And my wife was like, she was trying, she's like, it's totally different from like the tequila we've tried in the States. Thank you so much, Jennifer. And that I guess is like it's a smoother, it doesn't burn, and all this other stuff. Like they're like, if it burns, it's not good tequila. If it burns at all, it's not good tequila. And Herradura, that's a good tequila too. If you ever tried that.
yeah, I do like that one. I think it's the one that's Casa Azul. I think it's the one that George
Oh,
Clooney has, and all
and
those
a
ones. So
white
they
bottle.
add a lot about they add a lot of sugar to it. So I try to avoid those because I stopped drinking like mixes and stuff because that's where you get hangovers.
That
When you
is.
start mixing all the sugars and stuff. So
Mhm.
I really don't get hangovers anymore. I don't drink that much. I don't drink that much
Well,
anymore
I'll
either.
tell you what, folks. I have a hangover already from this year, and just as we just dive in, and if we don't have a lot of folks on, but the folks are on, we're talking about the 2025 year, right? We started with Joe Biden. He did a lot of stuff before Trump got in office. He was able to, solidify a few federal court approvals. He was able to push through a few more infrastructure things, and then we got to January 20th, and the bottom fell out. So
Yeah,
looking back,
I mean, the year that I think our first episode, Jimmy Carter had just passed away.
that's right. That's right.
So he didn't have to bear witness
JC,
through to the worst of it. God
he knew
bless
something was
him.
up. He was like, you know what, I'm gone.
Yeah, and then we had President Musk making decisions.
With his double sig Heil.
Yeah, and so we had some pretty good first episodes. New Orleans happened, Las Vegas happened. If you recall, Tesla blew up outside of
The Omen.
there was a
And
guy
that
who
really,
drove through the crowd
and
in New Orleans.
yeah, that Tesla blowing in front of a Trump hotel. Just to ponder on that for a second. That truly was like the canary in the coal mine. That was like, this is what this year and probably this whole administration is going to be like, right? It ended in front of a shitty Trump hotel with Elon Musk's terrible car blowing up, and that's how their relationship ended up, right? With Elon Musk saying that, oh, he's in the Epstein Files. And what happened on Friday? We got the Epstein Files, but we didn't get the Epstein Files. So it's just been a year of that burning Tesla in front of the Trump Tower.
Yeah,
And he's not been towering, I would say. But what did you think that meant? The Tesla burning in front of Trump. What do you think that? What do you think about that?
Oh yeah, I mean it was definitely it was as if somebody wrote was writing a script in terms of like foreshadowing and what would happen. I mean, you know, um, my girls, let's see, they every time they see a Cybertruck, they're like, "Gross, ew," because
I'm still.
like, cause I don't like, yeah, Elon Musk supports Trump, and they're like, it's ugly. One, two, like they hate Trump, so they
Yeah.
at least the oldest one, she's figured it out on her own. This my youngest, she follows along, but yeah,
Smart kid.
every time we see a Cybertruck.
And my son too. And then because again, the Cybertruck means that you bought that after Elon Musk started to go Nazi. Like you knew that he was a crazy racer. Like, I'm gonna support this company. And now, as we ending the years, we talk about oligarchy, we talk about no kings, we talk about people pushing back. We have Elon Musk on the cusp of being the first trillionaire, at least on paper, or at least through his speculation valuation, not necessarily liquid, but this is how corruption corrupts, and we're seeing it. But going back, we basically handed over all of our data to him, or we didn't, but this administration did. And when he created something called the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge.
Yeah. Which was probably the biggest. I would say the biggest cyber attack in history. They basically compromised every single government network. They took citizens' data. They violated all kinds of privacy laws. They run it through databases. In terms of where it's going now, it's being processed by all kinds of at the time, I'm sure, with unapproved third parties, and just everything went out the window. And they say that by pulling out of U.S. aid and some other programs, that about 500,000 people have died. That they were on the road to eradicating AIDS. That is now erased all the progress that was erased on fighting disease and viruses and poverty and whatever the money was going to, which was a drop in the bucket, less than 1% of the budget. All that progress is now, wiped away, and these problems come back. And so, you're talking about the richest person in the world who literally ransacked not only the United States federal government, but really just affected the world in many ways. This person literally just indirectly killed, and some people could argue directly, but killed 500,000 people, right? So it's a wild thing to think about. Like, if you actually put it in that perspective of the richest person in the world found, and we in the United States, President Trump enabled this person to do this. Like, this is Earth. This is the entire, this is all we know as human beings.
Right? All we got is this.
This is all. And you would be a steward of the earth, a steward of God. I mean, if you're religious, or even just the world, Mother Earth, whatever. This, and to disrespect the world and like that.
Pulled us out of the
richest person. That's what you do. Is the richest person on earth.
Well, we were just talking about you with your tech company. If you got rich, you would want to go into the government. You want to go into the government and get all of our data, wouldn't you? That's what normal people would want to do, right?
No. And so so that's where we're at. A year ago we also talked about the day before the inauguration. We called it the last night of democracy as we knew it. Yeah. And that continues to be true. We talked about MLK's Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy, which we just Charlie Kirk died this year, his fans tried to say that he was the MLK of our time, MLK Jr. of our time. That's right. I don't know if you saw I know you saw this last night or whatever, at least the clip. I haven't watched the Dave Chappelle special yet, but
me neither.
But yeah, he had something to say about Martin Luther King. So let me pull this one up. We can watch this one on the clip.
Too bad Charlie can't watch with us.
He stopped saying racist things. He did
stop saying racist things.
So
he did, but I think his wife picked up the racism.
She picked up a lot more than that.
Got to that bad girl.
All right. Well, here, I don't know if let's see if we got something out here. All right.
This generation's Martin Luther King. No, he's not. Yeah, that's a reach. They both got murdered in a terrible fashion. They both got shot in the neck, but that's about where those similarities end.
Yeah, it goes on a little bit more, but I know a lot of people have gotten tired of Chappelle, but
he has a broken clock.
Yeah, he's still more than a broken clock to be like. I'm gonna hold on. He also did shit on what's his name, politically incorrect Bill Maher.
Bill Maher, that was great. That was a great
comment. So yeah.
No, yes. So we started the year with that, and then as we talked about the legacy of Martin Luther King, and what did we say? We said they're going to try to take away his holidays, and they're going to try to change his history. And we're seeing with the national parks, it is no longer a free day at national parks for Martin Luther King Day or for Juneteenth. But what is a free day, Rom? Trump's birthday.
Oh,
That's now a free day. So no longer can you go to state parks for free for MLK Day or for Juneteenth. But for Donnie John pedophile, you can go for free on his birthday, which hopefully he won't be here with us next year when that happens.
yeah. So, yeah. Well, and another thing that happened over so another thing we talked about again, also on January 19th, we talked about TikTok. We talked
That's
about
right.
cryptocurrency. We talked about big tech. We talked about Nelly, Snoop, Soulja. So let's
These
dig
rappers,
into those
the
real
history of
quick.
these rappers.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
first
go ahead.
we talked about TikTok.
Yep.
What happened here? Let me see. That didn't work. So,
The good old TikTokies.
it's not wanting to work here. Let me remove.
It's crazy how so many of our clips aged so well, you know, and it's for a podcast that is on the up and coming, and people, oh, you guys, you know, and I get feedback sometimes, you guys take it too hard. But like the thing is, we live in profane times. And if profane language offends you, I mean, I can't take you seriously. I can't take that you actually want to know what's going on, because there are people dying, there are people starving, there are people getting misinformation, there are people getting disinformation, there's a surge of diseases, there are people being taken to countries they've never been to. Like, we got to wake up. And this show has always been dedicated to the truth. So I'm sorry, Ron, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. So just this week, TikTok finally signed a deal, sell the U.S. operations. So it's going from, under the deal, the law passed last year, TikTok's China-based parent company, ByteDance, they were either have to stop, doing business in the United States or sell. So that finally went through, and it's now going through Oracle, and of course all of these right-wing billionaires, Larry Ellison, his son David Ellison, the whole Paramount thing, basically taken over. It's owned by Silver Lake, Oracle, MJX based out of Abu Dhabi, and believe there's some Saudi investors there as well. But look, they now have control over another media piece of media. Cryptocurrency, again, Trump has increased his net worth by about 3 or 4 times just thanks to crypto alone. The grift is there. He can take payments under the table without any transparency. There's a lot of speculation that the pardons that he's given out are basically pay to get pardoned, that are going directly into his pocket. Big tech has obviously been the biggest topic of the year. In my opinion, it's the biggest. It's going to affect us more than anything, with these billionaires playing with, our lives. But yeah, so that's that. But now we talked about Nelly, Snoop, and Soulja. Who do we have today? Nicki Minaj.
Onika Minaj, yes.
Which is a wild one. So let's see if we can pull this up here.
We're going to bring it all together, folks. We're showing you how past is prologue. That's the whole point of today's show. It's just like, honestly, it's
administration. So with
sorry, here we go. All right, let me see if I guess I can't blow it up anymore. Okay, it's okay.
what to the current administration, what has been maybe the biggest surprise for you, or something that you just really has been put on your heart that you've learned about our president and our vice president?
Well, I have the utmost respect and admiration for our president. He has, I don't know if he even knows this, but he's given so many people hope that there's a chance to beat the bad guys and to win, and to do it with your head held high. And
then I got one more real quick.
No, but let's dissect that before we get into the next one.
Yeah, okay.
That's fucking insane. She is crazy. And honestly, I don't believe that she believes the shit she's talking about. I mean, I think that's quite apparent, right? She's probably gesturing for a pardon for her brother. Was it her brother? or is it her husband's also a sexual predator? Is her
Yeah,
husband and her
her
brother?
husband, her brother is actively locked up, I think, on a
Okay,
25-year bid, and then her husband
got a record to
is
get this money.
he's a registered sex offender.
Well, yeah,
So I mean,
yeah. So this whole thing about like
I guess that's what she's talking about giving hope to, because
what's so irritating is that they pick and choose when they want to respect the office. Like didn't nobody respect Barack Obama? They were hanging monkeys and burning him in effigy. You remember that? Like they had this when the Tea Party started. They were hanging Barack Obama in effigy, right? Joe Biden, they had sniper crosshairs on his head and him tied up in the back of a pickup truck, right? Like they were. This is fucking insane when we try to act like these people ever care about the office. And what this is authoritarianism. Now, we've talked about this all year, but what is authoritarianism? It's an appeal to authority. Now, authority is only legitimate when they hold authority, right? This is why they can beat the cops on January 6th, but we gotta pardon Derek Chauvin, right? It's only whenever there's that upholds their ideology. And Nicki Minaj, who we were talking before we started recording, me and you both kind of been like, man, fuck her for a long time. But I remember back when I was I was out of college, but there was, if y'all know black hip hop, but the man who signed her, Lil Wayne, had this mixtape called The Drought, D-A Drought. And he had multiple versions. I don't know if this is 1, 2, or 3, or 4, but she had a freestyle where she was saying, I'm a Republican. I'm voting for Mitt Romney. You dusty bitches is fucking up the economy. I will never forget that line. And this is before I was woke. This is way before woke Payron. This is Payron with the bald fade, Payron drinking, Payron trying to get some pantaloons. This is probably well before 2012, because I wasn't even in Greensboro. Any point being, I remember that. I remember being like, man, fuck her. She is a piece of shit, because even then I knew collectively as a black person that Mitt Romney would not be good for me and my people. And even though I didn't know half the shit I know now. And seeing this now, and I think you made the point before we started recording, it comes full circle that people like this, who are opportunists, that have predators in their circles, and that they themselves are the practice politics of, I'm going to pull the ladder up behind me, always find themselves to the right. And then also, lastly, I should say, people whose careers have stalled, whose relevance has started to go away, right? People ain't talking about who's it, Ice Spice or Cardi B, or I don't even know who's hot right now. I'm sorry, folks, I don't know who's hot right now. But people ain't talking about Nicki Minaj no more. It doesn't mean she's not great, but people aren't talking about Nicki Minaj. And this, dare I say, was her nail in the coffin.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't disappoint me or surprise me. Like, I seen like the writings on the wall for some time, and with these people, they say a lot of things. Where there's Kanye, the time they say something that's just so over the top, I was like, okay, like that makes sense. Same with Nelly and Soldier Boy. I think Snoop was probably the one that was like a little like more disappointing. Like, damn, Snoop, like,
because he had that video too, like when Trump first got elected. Remember that video?
And, yeah, but what was he talking about? He was at the crypto event and he was getting his grift on, right? And so
trying to help my community.
Yeah. And so so that was
so Nicki Onika, she says also too that he's there for the bad guys. Reminding you all, Nicki Minaj came to the United States when she was 5 years old, undocumented, from Trinidad. And again, I have, as a person who's been colonized, my people have been colonized, I have no beef towards any immigrants. This is stolen land. But I'm just reminding you of the quote unquote process and the largesse that was extended to her and her family when she came to this country. Was undocumented. She would be considered one of these, illegals, if you will. But thankfully, she has not been harmed or brutalized or taken out of this country. But now she's saying that they're going after the bad guys. All while we see people who are working at bakeries here in Charlotte, people who are just picking up their kids from daycare, being thrown to the ground or using their kids as bait. And this is what she's using her time to represent. And this is why, I mean, we've already said we don't respect her, but I will never respect her after this.
Yeah, I don't know where like a lot of people, I would love to kind of just be a bug on the wall or spend a day with some of these people just to see like what they're actually consuming and where they're getting their sources, like what their sources are for their news. Are they watching Fox News? Are they watching Newsmax? Or who is around them? Because I'm not making excuses for these folks, but it's like what world are you living in where Trump is fighting the bad guys? Like, what world are you living in where ICE is
Trump is
picking
the
up
bad
the
guy.
worst, the where ICE and CBP are picking up the worst of the worst? Like, if you like, I saw somebody post today, if you're not a felon, an immigrant, or an undocumented immigrant with a felony, then you have nothing to worry about. And it's like, what do you like? What
Wait,
is
were they
like? Where do you?
serious?
Yeah,
Was it,
where?
was it a right winger or a left winger?
Of course, it was, I mean, it was probably some right wing. I didn't know the person
I was like,
personally. I'm just
I
saying,
know
but
this is
like,
like
I
a,
like,
I was
I
like,
just
what?
don't. I just like, I actually think that some of these people are just like spoon fed disinformation,
Yeah.
misinformation, and that's what they run with in terms of like what's on their Facebook pages, and so
Well,
yeah,
yeah. Well, I was gonna say, ironically, someone, the comments can quickly go into, well, it's crazy that Nick's doing it, and then and this always happens. And someone like, I can't believe black people are supporting this, and they'll use this because they overemphasize a singular Nicki Minaj. And I said, well, listen, hold on, let's just time out. I said, well, we had to look at this through systems. What system are these two human beings on stage upholding? Right? We have these two women on stage, and dare I say, both their identities are under direct attack from this administration. You have Erica Kirk being a white woman who they want to have chained to a stove to pump out countless babies, right? Who to be depowered, to be defenestrated in our economic system, to not have any sort of leadership power. Then we have Onika, who is a Trinidadian immigrant descendant, right? Who they also don't want to be in power, but they also want her to be pumping out babies, but not to be educated, not to have critical thought, but to be a permanent poor or non-paid worker class, right? So these are people who uphold systems of course, racial hierarchy, but then also gendered hierarchy.
right.
And then the last thing I said is that, but these two people and what they're talking about, yes, they're quasi important, but you got to think about the systems. It's the audience.
Mm-hmm.
The audience is fit. I'm not just talking about the people who are in the audience listening to them, people
Right.
who are at home, people who vote for this, the people who are our neighbors and they still support this type of shit. These people want to believe the same systems they're talking about. The bad guys are not them. That the people that need to be harmed are there are people that need to be harmed. And when they do this, they're keeping their base and inculcated into ignorance and to propaganda, and they're never going to ask a question. But why do they do that? They do that so they can take their money, right? So they can donate to Trump. Trump's still asking for fucking donations today. So like all this shit we talk about the grift. We're gonna maybe I don't forget that clip of her, that Freudian slip with the grift, but that's what these two people represent right now. They're representing keeping people, telling them what they want to hear. That Trump is the good guy. And he's getting the bad guys. And actually, if boys can be boys, all the fucking hits of this past election cycle in the past year, that, the border, Venezuela, they're telling you what you want to hear. They're not saying, hey, the reason you don't have a job, the reason the potholes on your street aren't fixed, the reason why you're losing your health care, the reason the cost of food is going up, none of that. And that's the purpose they serve.
It's also the women, they're very intentional with putting women on center stage, especially that's why they're elevating Erica Kirk, right? And I think what's the quote from the Toledo, was it the Toledo Times or whatever, where the white women have white supremacy is always hidden behind the skirts of white women. And but and they're not really talking about anything. Yeah, like you said, they're not talking about anything, but it's basically reaching out to these men with the misogynists, the red pill, the white supremacists, male supremacists, the ones
and
that
white women too. Don't forget the majority of white women too voted for Donald Trump. Don't forget.
Yeah, incels. But but they want to basically, and who is the bad guy she's talking about, right? Like you know, the people who say like you shouldn't sexually assault women, or the people that say like, hey, it's not right to sleep with a drunk woman who can't give consent. Like, oh, that's the bad. Like, who's the bad guy, right? I don't know, but I
that's
know
how it works.
that's who Trump. That's like we look at who's around Trump and the people he's surrounded with. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. The Peace XFs and the Epsteins and all of these. I mean, it's all of these men. So like, if they're not the bad guy, then who's the bad guy?
Yeah, but they always have but this is the problem with the propagandized idea of America, and we've seen this over this past year, is that it's worked to a degree, but then where they thought they could use the same propaganda that like it's the illegals, it's these people, and it's like, well, by that standard, Nikki, you're an illegal, right? Trump is an illegal, right? The people who commit crimes are illegal, right? Trump isn't illegal, but it's when we talk about crime, it's racialized, right? When we talk about immigration, you don't think of someone from Norway. You think of someone from Mexico or South America. We think about crime. Unfortunately, we think about Black people. So that's very intentional. And to your point, and to the point I made earlier, these two human beings on the stage are purposefully upholding a system that is actively attacking their identities, but they're rich, right? You have Kirk saying women need to be at home, but she ain't at home. Like, you ain't at home. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, and I was gonna say, like, notice they're not really saying anything about running for office or asserting their power
job.
or they are basically saying I'm supporting my husband's friend, my dead husband's friend, JD Vance for president. They're saying I love Trump. Trump is he's the saving us and he's our savior. There's nothing in there that's and so that's very intentional, right? They want to say that they're basically telling these incels and misogynists that don't worry, we know our place. This is for men. This is for men to have the power and the control. I mean, I don't know who else has been speaking. Let me look at the list, but because I know like a lot of these clips, right? Like, so I don't want to, but I see the trend, at least of what they're showing us. They're not saying run for office or run for Congress or anything.
But to that exact point, we've heard over this past year, we've heard people like Marjorie Taylor Greene or Nancy Mace come out saying that the Republican Party is sexist. Oh my God, Ron, there is a fork in the kitchen. There is gambling at the casino. I don't know if there is water inside of the ocean. I don't know if you heard about this, that the Republican Party might be misogynistic and overtly at that. And the thing is, as we talk about, the leopards will eventually eat your face too. My camera's on, so I keep doing this. It's swapped around. And this is what they are unable to deal with. And this is the purpose these two people still serve. And the women that are in that crowd, because there's a certain point or conversation, this interview here, that it shoots to women. It's all white people, but it's a bunch of white women. And when we talk about like the problem, unfortunately, is we need, and I've been talking about all year, people get tired of me saying it, but like, look, JD Vance is saying it now. They're saying it's the ghetto Jasmine Crockett's, it's these Ilhan Omar trash people. It's about white supremacy. Yeah. And you may not be a white supremacist, but let me tell you something. All of us, if you were born in this country, or if you went through the educational system, or you imbibed the media, you have been indoctrinated with white supremacy. Rom, Payron, our wives, our children are currently, all of us have. It is an active choice to fight against that. Nicki Minaj and Erica Kirk on that stage are saying, let go, embrace it. JD Vance is saying that. Is that level of racism? Hold on to that.
Yeah, and to your point, about Marjorie Taylor Greene, once they start to have ambitions, I mean, even Elise Stefanik, who sold herself down the river for Trump, and he wouldn't endorse her. Like,
and then he blew.
You see that now, as you pointed out, I see the trend of like, once you start, if you're a Republican woman who starts to want to go to the next level, want to take that step, You look at what they're doing to you. Look at this lineup. Look at this lineup. I mean,
okay, let's see.
Okay, you got Erica Kirk.
Let's see
you got.
these studs.
Let's see how many actual politicians we actually see.
Okay, here we
Erica
go.
Kirk,
All right.
0. Megyn
Okay.
Kelly, who we got. Okay.
Well, no, let's read them all in case folks are listening in. Start at the top. Let's go. It's a lot. Let's go.
JD Vance, Tucker Carlson, Glenn Beck, Russell Brand, Michael Knowles, Senator Mike Lee, Vivek Ramaswamy, Frank Turek, Governor Glenn Youngkin, Governor Kevin Stitt, Governor Mike Braun, Governor Spencer Cox, Governor Jeff Landry, Governor Greg Gianforte. How many women have we had? 2. And how many of them have been politicians? 0.
Yikers.
Okay. Or elected politician Rob Schneider, Congressman Andy Biggs, Alice Clark, who's a woman who I don't know who she is, the Honorable Jason Shaftes, Allie Beth Stuckey, who the fuck is Allie Beth? Savannah Chrisley, like Joe Bob and Alexis Wilkins, like so. Out of all of that lineup, do you know any of these women? These 3 women.
Ironically, I did see the name. I did see the name for the very first time. Allie Beth Stuckey for the very first time today. She's going to be doing. I guess as we can really get to this, but Barry Weiss took over CBS, and she's the editor-in-chief for CBS, and she's just turned that into a Fox News, Newsmax, CBS Newsmax, is the TN Holler calls it. But they're going to be doing, I think this weekend or maybe next weekend, they're going to be doing like a Jubilee style.
Okay.
Is feminism bad for women?
Yeah. So okay. Well, anyways, to my point, I haven't looked at this, or to our point, I guess, right? Yeah. Because I mean, where's the Nancy Mace's, obviously Marjorie Taylor Greene? Where's the Elise Stefanik? Where's there's no elected women on here at all?
Black MAGA, where y'all at, dog?
Oh yeah, is there a black person?
Where y'all blacks?
Oh, speaking of which, here we got something.
Where the Negroes?
Yeah, he was there. Myron Gaines was there. What do you mean? He was. Yeah, let's see what happened.
Ruh-roh.
Get rejected. So Amaru,
I can't hear you.
Podcast.
Amaru is
won't let you in.
Yeah. So what's happening, David?
Turning Point did a smart thing. They're not allowing Muslims into their conference.
So he's not being allowed in. Security is
standing there looking like a dummy.
He's calling nobody because no one's gonna help him get in. So I don't know who he thinks he's calling, but we got 1 security, 2, 3, and the event security. And he's calling, I think he's calling like Andrew Tate to help him get in or something.
Andrew Tate?
Andrew Tate's busy getting his ass.
Right, got his teeth knocked down his throat. Yes, the wrong one, brother.
Yeah, he's like, I'm right here at the corner. Just come get me.
Oh my God, embarrassing. I mean, look, that dude's already embarrassing as it is. So.
Right. This is folks, there is no retirement plan for sellouts. I just want to remind people of that. I say it all the time, or we say tokens get spent, or tokenism isn't worth the spirit required or isn't worth the spirit required to make it shine. It's all the same thing. It is all burst in the air, right? Or you end up like Herman Cain and dying, and the person that you're dying for doesn't even acknowledge how you died. He doesn't even care. So like, there is no retirement plan for sellouts. There is no retirement plans for coons. There is no retirement plans for, I'm not gonna say Uncle Tom because he's actually a good character. But there is no retirement plan for these type of people. Sambo, thank you, Ron. But you did say he eventually did get in, and he was he was a good boy. He was a happy boy, right?
Yeah, and he was outside. He was outside calling people Jews, and so
yeah, I mean, because
in a derogatory way. So I mean, look, these people they will eat themselves.
They will.
They invite the company, and these Republicans who are surprised that now there's anti-Semitism and there's racism. The Viveks are wondering, like, why are they getting called, like, all kinds of Indian slurs or Middle Eastern slurs when you're not even Middle Eastern, right? Like, it's whatever slur works. I mean, they're surprised, right? This is what they've invited in. They're surprised when there's violence. They're surprised. So,
pull that clip and folks, there's been a lot of stuff that's happened this year. We've had an increase in measles. We've had an increase of whooping cough. We've had RFK. We didn't talk about it this year, but RFK got into it's found out that Olivia Newsy was having an affair with him. But to go back to this tokenism, I just want to say, I just want to touch on stuff we haven't touched on because we're at 45 minutes. But on top of that, with these type of people, who's the other person that we were talking about? Damn, I was my train of thought. It'll come back to me. But there's another token I'm trying to remember right now from this weekend.
God.
What was it? I think you talked about it over DMs. I can't remember right now.
Token?
There's
so many of them.
There's so many. Well, actually, there's not. That's the thing. But they're so prominent.
Yeah, exactly. What are we talking about?
But these people who actively traffic in hate, they traffic in white supremacy. They find out quickly that you are. It was maybe it was Vivek, but we weren't talking about Vivek. Point being, look, if you the problem is that a lot of people, let me be very clear, and there's been studies conducted. Pew's has done research on this. There's been studies from Gallup as well. 90% of white people do not have friends outside of the white community. Why is that important? Why do I say that now? Why am I race baiting? I'm not. The reason why it's important is because the over amplification of people like a Myron Gaines, you can take him down, of a Myron Gaines or a Herschel Walker or a Mark Robinson is meant to make people who are not of the community or who have no interest into learning about culture or other cultures believe that there is a larger ubiquitous problem. And Myron Gaines, the same we talk about Nicki Minaj, they're serving that purpose. Myron Gaines is what is he Ethiopian or is he Sudanese?
What is it?
Sudanese?
I think he's Sudanese.
Sudanese. I mean, but I do believe or Eritrean. Is it Eritrean? But he's from a African country, and he allows that white boy that got the sonic rings knocked out of him. I'm sure y'all seen that video at the Young Republicans event.
Sudanese. He was born in Brooklyn, but he's a Sudanese descent.
Sure, Sudanese descent.
Mm-hmm.
And he was born there.
Yeah, he was born in Brooklyn, according to this.
Okay. I thought he was born there. But I mean,
actually, his real name is Amrou Fudel.
Nice. And again, and I respect that, and we respect that here. But sir, you are supporting a movement that does not respect your ability to have different religions. You heard those white boys right there on that video. They were proud to say, "Oh, we're stopping Muslims." So when people are talking about how this movement cares about the freedom of religion, I've taught you, if you listen to the show at any time throughout this year, I've taught you to put on your conservative ears. When they say freedom of religion, what they're saying is freedom for them to impose their religion on you. When it's all projection, when they're talking about Sharia law, what they're really saying is we don't want any other religions coming into play of stopping our Christian domination, our Seven Mountains mandate. That's what this is. So he had to learn the hard way. He had to be temporarily embarrassed, which is the same thing that the MAGA base feels, because the way they keep poor white people voting for rich white people is they all feel like they're temporarily embarrassed millionaires. And that is how they get them to vote for people with billions of dollars that make them poor, sicker, and dumber.
Yeah, they might be tapped out. I mean, in terms of finding more to growing their movement, I don't know if there's really more to be harvested. They might be rounding up their base, their white supremacists. Yeah, the violence that that's what they'll resort to. Violence, the cheating, the disenfranchisement, the militarism, the over policing, all this stuff that they're and potentially martial law before the elections, the next election. Yeah, I don't think that they have the numbers anymore. Right? I don't think that there's.
Well, he's already a lame duck, right?
Yeah.
Did you say he's a lame duck?
In terms of, I mean, I think November, what was it? November elections, and there was a December election. I think that kind of proved it. That it there's just not enough momentum. There's not enough people, and he lost power with those Republican losses, right? And these Republicans, he's a lame duck to the people, but these Republicans are still falling in line, right?
Well, on top of that too, like you think after the big beautiful bill, what else are they running on? Like folks out there listening in, name me one thing the Republicans are running on. Like Rom, you're very politically plugged in. What's the next thing the Republicans want to do?
They say they're going to fix healthcare, which they've been saying for they're going to all this with no plan. Right?
The thing is, their chances right now.
Concepts of a plan. Exactly. They could have. I mean, look, they could have fixed. They could have did something with Obamacare and called it Trump care. I mean,
but that's literally
these people don't care. They're not actually trying to fix healthcare.
Right. So that's the point of my question that I want us to stay on.
They don't actually run on anything. They just talk.
So let's stay there. I'm with you, and you're picking up on where I'm going with. I'm not trying to actually get to.
I get you. I know.
But this is for the people listening in, because what's going to happen is we're going to get in our circles around Christmas and the holidays and be like, well, I'm still a Republican. What do you want the government to do?
Yeah.
Right, and as your political party, and we can get on the Democrats too, but we don't have that much time to even get the Democrats.
No.
What is your political party? When they had power,
I want them to take out the immigrants. I want them to get rid of the immigrants, the criminals.
Fine.
Yeah. Then what?
Right. What policy is what are they running on to win your affectation? And what we're seeing now, and a guy, Danny F. Collins, he posted a video about it. The guy, he was in his garage. He had a Trump flag. He's taking it down. He's a white man, of course. Then he puts up a Jesus is King flag. And the reason he commented, because Danny F. Collins himself was an ex-white supremacist, he said, what we're seeing now is that people, they cannot defend Trump. They cannot defend this administration. They cannot defend the things that are happening. And what's happening is that they're actively switching from one cult mentality to another. And what Jesus are y'all following? Are you following the capitalism Jesus? Are you following the Jesus of, mass deportations now? Are you following the Jesus of, those poor people don't deserve shit? Which Jesus are you following? And this is why white Christian nationalism, and I'm sure we're going to, this conversation will continue throughout next year, because that's all they're going to have left. And we just talked about there's no policies they're running on. We knew Trump was the gooey, sticky stuff that came down from the more watered down version of Ronald Reagan. Ronald Wilson Reagan, each of those names has 6 letters in it. Do with that as you will. Ronald Reagan was the progenitor to Donald Trump, right? And he had a cult-like mentality, right? He was the charismatic leader, right? Mm-hmm. And then, but what it all comes down to is, because you'll hear the people that are like, well, Trump is a populist. People like him. Well, Ronald Reagan was a quote-unquote populist. And then in between them, still the majority of white voters voted for the Republican Party. And the reason why is because the Republican Party's politics has always been a white supremacist policy. That's what it's always been about. So when people are like, I want the old Republicans back, I remind you, the old Republicans stepped on my grandmother. The old Republicans stepped on my mother. The current Republicans are stepping on me and my children. It's always been about that. So we have to understand that the cult of Trump will always go back to the more fascist group of people. And this is why I keep harping on, I'm not trying to sound like a broken record or rant. Mm-hmm. It's up to y'all to fix that. Until y'all get so pissed off. And I say y'all as white people, because I'm like Toni Morrison. When I say people, I mean black people, as Toni Morrison says. But when y'all got to fix that shit, and that's your daddies, your uncles, your cousins, because we said it since the beginning of the show, we don't know those people. And every time we get around people and they're like, hey, this was happening, they're like, well, I voted for Kamala Harris. It's like, that's great, but we need you to do the hard work. And now is this holiday time, folks are losing jobs, folks are losing healthcare benefits, or they're going to just jump off the Medicaid cliff. What are you going to do about it? That's the end. As we end or getting to the end of the show, what are y'all going to do about it?
Yeah. All the Republicans, I've like everything they talk about it's all negative. It's all how can they hurt somebody else, or how can they take away things from somebody else that's not them. There's nothing affirmative or positive about the Republican voter. Like what do you as a Republican voter? What do you like you said? What are you looking for from your government? Because that fiscal conservatism, that doesn't exist. Like
It's a shield. It's always been a shield.
Yeah. So, healthcare, like, what do you lower grocery, like nothing, right? So, I think the everything that if all of these social programs, these socialist programs they like to call, were only for white folks, they would be all for it. Right.
Now, granted,
they're
the largest beneficiaries of it.
Yeah,
but they've been so programmed.
Right,
they've been so programmed to believe the welfare queen and the immigrant lies and the war on drugs. It's the same thing. And if they just realize that these people were taking them for a fucking ride. Yeah. And this is why when some people are like, well, poor white people are voting against their interests. And I remind them, what if white supremacy is their interest?
Yeah, that's what it seems like for a lot of them, and it is very cult like. I mean, even the Epstein. We don't talk. You Epstein, and I really don't talk about Epstein a lot because
let's dive into
that because and I got about 5 or 10 minutes, but like, let's just entertain it let's just entertain that they just let out every single file, and
that's what we want. That's what we want on this show.
But let's just say they did it.
Okay.
Do you really think that the people's mind, like everything that's already out there about Trump, like we know he likes to walk through underage dressing rooms. We know he talks about his daughter in sexualized ways. We know that he's been pictured with Epstein. We know he's the best friend of Epstein. We know he's been to the island. Like, we know that he was on the Lolita Express, the airplane. We know that he grabs any women by the pussy. He know that he we know that the piece of shit of you. He has 3 wives, right? We know that kids, right? He's cheated with a porn star. We know all of these things about him. The trends are there. He's been accused. He's been convicted in the civil court, adjudicated in the civil court for sexual assault.
Which that judge would say if it was in another state, that would be considered rape.
So what do we think that's going to come out in these? Do people need a picture of him in bed with a child? Because personally, even if that came out, I still don't think people would. I think it's like one of those things where he could shoot somebody dead in the middle of the street and he would still have a supporter. So we talked about it. I think we had one episode. We've talked about it here and there, but to me, like, I don't think that there's nothing that's like going to change. Republicans are still playing protection. I think there's I think there's a couple Republicans who are saying something. With Thomas Macy is speaking up probably the most at this point. But these people don't have principles. They don't stand for anything. They don't stand for anything. And MTG, I think, is doing whatever is politically advantageous for her at this stage, that she's been exiled, right? But like, these people do not have principles. These people are morally bankrupt. These supporters, not just the politicians, but the people that continue to support them. So why are we going to negotiate? You're going to negotiate with a pedophile, like, about politics, or a pedophile supporter? You see them coming out the woodworks left and right here in Union County, right there in Waxhaw. There was 2. You see them in Charlotte. The owner of Sycamore Brewing. I mean, left and right. These pastors, all these people. Sycamore Brewing. Oh yeah, you didn't hear that? Oh, there's a whole people. And to that point, everyone in Charlotte has boycotted Sycamore. The breweries have taken it out. All of these things that he actually was caught raping a 13-year-old girl, allegedly. Right? I don't know. We're in Charlotte, but like. And he has like a $300 million bond or something. Like, he's got like
that's great.
His wife, and then his wife came out and was like, she was just like, oh, I feel this is bad for us in the business. She didn't say anything else. And they were like, we're canceling you. We're canceling you. And I'm like, and I actually, like, one of the events I go to is right above Sycamore Brewing. And so I didn't realize it at first, but one of my buddies, he messaged me and he pointed it out. And they would cater to that, and so I'm assuming that's gone. But but to see how they did that, but like Trump is like, he can't do no wrong.
But that's why. That's why, man. And I know you got to run, but I'm gonna end with this and just say, like, that's why they like him. He represents.
He can get away with it. He gets away. That's why they changed the H. Well, sorry. Well, I'm getting a little ahead of myself.
No. You're right on. You're right there. And we're not saying different things, but he represents what they want, right? He wants to say the racist shit that they want to say in the boardroom. He wants to grab, these men want to grab women by the pussy. These women feel like the closest place they could be to power is adjacent to these insecure ass, toadstool penis white men. And they want someone to let them off the hook when they rape children, because they want a president that rapes children, right? And this is why they have to hide behind the mantle of Christianity. And this is why I said earlier, what type of Christian are they talking about? And honestly, but as we're saying, and the next episode we should get it. I want us to do the cognitive test. I think I'm gonna give you the cognitive test that Trump did, and I'm gonna see if you're gonna. Hey, Rom, I'm gonna see if you're gonna pass it. But this is why they have someone who's sundowning during meetings. He's been, y'all have seen the clips of this past year. He's fallen asleep during meetings. During the one meeting where they're talking about lowering the cost of drugs, that one guy passed out and Trump was sitting there asleep. This is the man, because they don't care. He is a vehicle.
Yeah,
for white supremacist politics.
Weekend at Bernie's.
So they will hold him up until the end of time.
Well, also they see. Yeah, but you see them changing the ages in these southern states to 14, whether it's labor, whether it's legal age for sexual consent, to have marriage. I mean, this is why it's been so accepted for so long. This is why that there's a low conviction rate. This is why there's a low arrest rate when it comes to sexual assault on women. This is why that it's been going on for so long. And you see these things, and you could probably, I'm sure you have women in your circle who has stories of it's like, that's wild that these things happen and continue to are allowed to happen.
But what does it say about the people that support it? Like you said, what does it say about them? And what does it say about the people that are not those people that make them feel comfortable? That's what I want the question. I want y'all to think about this holiday break as y'all walk into it, because Project 2025 is, or how many? That's 2025. Project 2025 is 50% complete. I just want y'all, as y'all go into here, and it's all Trump didn't know about it. As you're sitting there with Uncle Ron and Aunt Sally, and they still got their MAGA hats on. And again, these people are dangerous people. But what does it say about you? What does it say about you if these people are in your orbit? What does it say about you if you're trying to say we're in community? Use your privilege. Use that power when we're not around, people of color, because we can't work with them. So we need you to figure it out. But folks, it has been a roller coaster of a year. We didn't even get to everything. We couldn't get to everything. It's been a year.
We'll probably be back next Sunday, but
how we gonna get that an hour?
But shout out to all of our guests that we had this year.
Yes,
we started this just a little under a year ago.
Yeah,
but we had Anderson Clayton, Naira, we had Kimberly,
Elijah,
Kimberly Hardy, Elijah King, Jordan Lopez, Woodson Bradley, JD, Brandon Rivers, Supreme Court Justice Anita Earls.
Go.
We had Christy Puckett. We had my cousin Ralph Sandoval.
Fantastic interview.
We had
Franklin Ellis.
I was just about to say, and then so we had a lot
for our first year. That's solid.
Yeah. Oh, and Liz Monterey.
That was a good one too.
On the school board.
Fantastic.
And Kelly Carter Jackson.
Come on now. We had a published author on. Yeah. I mean, y'all.
Yeah.
Look, y'all can say what you want about the Radical Roots, but the Radical Roots did that damn thing, and I'm very proud of the work I did with my partner Rom here. It's been fantastic, and I look forward to taking this to above and beyond, and all the feedback has been positive, and people have been, really trying to help us out and grow this thing. And that's what we want to do for you, because right now there is a deluge of bullshit out there, and we want to make sure we give it to you honest, real, and through a nuanced perspective and through a black and brown lens. And I'm getting better. Rom's getting better. The show's getting better. Graphics have gotten fire. This new platform we got is dope. Now we've got to load it up. And as Rom said at the beginning of the show, we've got local candidates here in Union County. My plan on is at least try to talk to everybody at least 5-10 minutes on the show, just to get folks an opportunity to talk about their platform, what they're running for here locally in Union County, because that's important to us here as well, to give them a platform to feel very, to impact the folks here. So love yours, be safe. Rom, what are your plans for Christmas and New Year's?
I'm just gonna kick it with the family, and we're having it pretty simple this year. My girls, like they, I said, we take it simple. It's about giving, and on the letter to Santa, my oldest, all she's asking for is a unicorn water bottle or rainbow water bottle.
Okay, well,
like that's it. She's not. I mean, she's getting a little more than that, right? But like in terms of last year, I mean, I'm like,
right,
what am
baby
I doing with
girl.
all this? So we trying to not spend, and she understands.
No,
she
I get
understands the purpose behind it. It's kind of just
that's nothing to happen this
the
year,
whole
right?
consumerist, the boycotts, the consumer mentality. Yeah, and I think again the national strike, the general strike that needs to happen in 2026. People think I think people have gotten too relaxed, a little too comfortable, because there's been these wins in November and a win in December, Madani, and I feel like people have kind of felt like, okay, like, well, Epstein's coming out. And
we didn't talk about this. We'll talk about it next time. But the DNC shelving their autopsy because quote unquote.
That's the worst thing you can. That's one of the worst things you can do in terms of a root cause analysis is like one of the best things. I don't know.
We're not getting into that right now because we ain't got time, but we got to talk about that. Because anyway, finish up.
Anyway,
I'm sorry.
What was I talking about?
Christmas and the boycotts.
Oh yeah, so but it really, it literally just my daughter, she gets it. She's 6. She just turned 6, and when I say she gets it, it's not like I'm sitting here breaking down everything that's going on in the world, but I'm just saying like where we're at in terms of like overspending and just buying all these things that and say, look upstairs, like all those toys you don't even use them, right? Like there's kids out there that need toys. We're gonna give some toys, and for her to ask Santa for something like just a rainbow water bottle, just the simple things.
That's right.
More about the experience. This has been the first Christmas that I've not the first, but I felt more, let's listen to some Christmas music. Let's go somewhere. Like, let's go to the Christmas market.
Yeah.
I'm like, and my Rose and I were talking about it today. Like, we're not stressed about getting all these gifts and, making sure that we got all these things. And it's been a lot more stress-free. And so I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to the new year. 2025 it will probably go down as like a turning point in U.S. history.
Turning point of USA.
2026 does not look much better. I will tell you, it's probably going to get worse. Yep. So please do not get complacent. Please do not think that we're out of the woods yet. So yeah.
Yeah, for us, man, we're gonna be hanging around. To your point, very similar. Our kids. I think since we're very politically plugged in, our kids understand where we're at, and my kids, they ask questions. But also, we spoil our kids throughout the year. They get stuff, they understand, and it's about the moments. It's about the experiences. It's about the embracing one another. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. I mean, just Trisha's comments here. We cannot become complacent. 100% correct. And we will not be complacent. One thing about me is I repeat stuff this over and over again. Like Thomas Sankara said in the 1980s, who was the head of Burkina Faso before there was ever an Ibrahim Traore. He said revolutionaries repeat the same thing over and over again until people get it. Look, the right wing does it all the time. They say build the wall. They say lock her up. Over and over again, they say drain the swamp. Whatever Trump says, we do the same shit. Mm-hmm. And if that's too much for you, understand that someone's going to fill that void. You're going to hear someone's voice, and you need to repeat this to your people. So over this holiday, please try to read something. Please try to get some wrinkles in the brain, and and let people know about the Radical Cruise podcast. Again, I will put our little QR code back up here again. Okay, shoot us some bread because this is not free. Help us out. Give us a Christmas. Don't be a Scrooge to the Radical Cruise. Give us some more. So please hook us up because we do this and we do take time out of our day to prepare and to get this stuff up and running for folks. And as Ron went through that whole list of guests that we had this past year, we're trying to make it even better for next year.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get Charlotte's Carla Cunningham. She's the state house member who's very MAGA Republican aligned at this point. Basically his nulled and void is the
that black lady,
the lack of supermajority. So she's giving them the vote to veto Stein. Anyways, she's got about 3 or 4.
The Joe Manchin.
Yeah, she's got about 3 or 4 Democrats running against her in the primary. So I want to try to get them on, and so we can hear their platform, because I think she needs to go.
Absolutely, no question. We do not suffer fools no more in 2026, folks. But thank you all for joining the Radical Roots. We got on a little bit early because we want to give y'all some time for your holidays. And thank y'all for joining in. Thanks for the comments, folks that were tapping in. Next week I may try to do a Roots rundown if there's anything crazy. But it's been great doing that as well. Folks, we cannot do this without your support. We cannot do this without your ability to tell folks and to share our stuff. So please do so. We thank you. We appreciate you all. And if you do not hear from us, or if you do not hear from both of us, we wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year.
Happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah. Like I know Hanukkah passed, but Christmas, all of it.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. It's all the goofs. You're trying to cancel Christmas, whatever. We're multicultural. My daughter, she's speaking Greek. She's speaking Greek in the car today because they learn Greek at her school. I'm like, this is she's learning Spanish, and there's some people, I'm sure down around our way. You just speak English, learn another language. Anyways, all right, I'm out.
I love
the hypocrisy, the hypocrisy and the dumbing down of Americans and Americans. Like, y'all look stupid, y'all look foolish, y'all. It says more about the people who continue to support Trump. Like, it says more about you because we know who Trump is. It says a hell of a lot more about the people that support this, that don't really stand for anything, that don't have principles, that are morally bankrupt. So, anyways, I know.
I'm so glad we're trying to end it. Your daughter's learning that. ¿Qué puede ella decir?
Can she say what?
What can she say?
Oh, what can she say in Espanol? She actually speaks more Greek now than she does Espanol, which she spent a lot of time learning as a youngin'. But she can count to 89 in Greek. I think she can say the days. She can do a lot more. I can't understand her, and that's not like, it doesn't bother me. It actually bothers me a little bit, but it's like, it makes me proud, man. So
I'm glad.
It's not like I'm like, oh, stop speaking Greek around me. No, I would love if she can speak Greek with her friends and interact, and just the fact that you're able to learn a language and say. Rose said we should go to Greece. I said that's an excellent idea.
Oh, so, there you go. Your daughter learns 89. Next thing is trip to Greece. I see how
translate for us.
I see how y'all do. All right, folks. We're over time, but thank you for tuning into the Radical Roots on our 2025 review. We didn't really review all 2025 because we didn't have time, but guess what? We got 2026. Thank you all. I'm your co-host, Peyron Baxter.
I'm your co-host, Ram Sandoval. Peace out.
Happy New Year. See you.